So do you want to know 5 things a timeshare salesperson is not going to tell you during your presentation? Let's talk about them right after this. Hello and welcome to Destination Timeshare. I'm Jeremy. Today we're going to be talking about things that a timeshare salesperson is not going to tell you during your timeshare sales presentation. Most likely because if they did, you would not purchase a timeshare from them. So you usually want to kind of keep it a little bit secret, a little bit on the down low. And the first one just happens to be all things considered, all costs, all in. So purchase price, maintenance fees every year, club dues, and also if there's any interest on the purchase, if you've taken out a loan with the timeshare company. All those things, all costs, all in. It's going to be more expensive than if you just went out and paid for a vacation yourself. All of these costs considered, maybe over a really long period of time, say 20, 25, maybe 30 years, you will come out ahead, but the upfront cost, and certainly if you've taken out a loan on it, the interest as well, is really going to make those costs per night go up fairly significantly. So keep that in mind, all in, all costs. You might just be better off renting from an owner, and I did do another video about how to go about doing that. I'll put a link to it right up there, so check that out. It might actually be cheaper to just do that than to purchase the timeshare. And now the next one, number 2, and this is probably going to be the way you want to go if you do want to get into timeshare, and that is that you can purchase the same thing or close to the same thing for perhaps pennies on the dollar on the resale market. A lot of people going to a timeshare sales presentation probably aren't even aware that there's a timeshare resale market out there. People who own this exact same timeshare, whether it be points or a week, they're just looking to get out. Maybe it's 10% of the original purchase price. Maybe even they're trying to get rid of it for 0. They're willing to give it away to anybody who's willing to take it for free. So the timeshare salesperson is definitely not going to tell you that, because if they told you that, why would you buy from them when you can go out there and buy it for pennies on the dollar? Now the third one just happens to be that, hey, I'm making it sound much easier to make reservations and get availability than it really is. I, meaning the timeshare salesperson, they're going to tell you, hey, it's easy, just call them up or go online, make a reservation. There's always stuff out there to reserve and you're good to go. Well, it's not always that true. All of the systems have different reservation booking windows, and in a lot of cases for prime resorts, prime time, especially if you have kids in school and you can only travel during school holiday seasons when kids are out of school, well, those times can be really tough, really hard, and difficult to reserve. So they're going to tell you it's easy, but trust me, it isn't quite as easy as they say. And now the fourth one just happens to be that exchanging isn't all that easy. So if you can't get the resort the time that you want to travel by just making a reservation, they'll say, hey, go ahead and just exchange through Interval International or RCI. And they might even be showing you all of these resorts that you can pick from in a book or on a computer. That actually happened to us at a Wyndham timeshare presentation. Club Wyndham, they had the RCI resort directory trying to convince us that, hey, we should buy Club Wyndham because, hey, you got all these resorts in the RCI resort directory that we can pick from and go to. In order for you to get an exchange into a resort, well, an owner at that resort has to make a reservation and deposit their resort into the program. And then you can potentially, if you're lucky enough and nobody else is looking for that same place that same week too, you can then exchange. So it's a kind of a complicated system where it takes owners to deposit, and then obviously you can potentially exchange in there. And now the last one, number 5, and that is they're not going to tell you that you have the right to rescind your timeshare purchase that you make today. It will most certainly be disclosed in the contract that you have a right of rescission. Could be anywhere from 3 days to potentially as high as 10 days, depending on where you're purchasing. This obviously gives you the right to cancel that contract within the allotted time. I did do another video on this a little while ago on my channel. I'll put a link to it right up there. What is your right of rescission? Really, the only chance you have to legally and easily get out of your timeshare contract is during that right of rescission. So whether it be 3 days after you sign, 10 days after you sign, or somewhere in between, they're not going to tell you that you have that right. They don't want you to know that there's an easy out to get out of that timeshare sales contract that you just signed. While we're talking about timeshare sales and what they're not going to tell you, well, maybe you're actually looking to purchase timeshare. If you are, I actually have a video. I'll put a link to it right here. It talks about kind of ways that you can go about purchasing a timeshare, and most likely on the resale market. So check that out right here after you finish watching this one. Thanks for watching, and remember, until next time, the best destination is always a timeshare.